Hello, this is a short video presentation on choosing scales for graphs. This is our last topic in this unit. When you choose scales, there's a couple things to look for. One, the X and Y scale do not have to be the same. X and Y do not have to be the same. Do not have to be the same. Two, when you graph, I want you to always make your points on the corner of a square. On the corner of a square. I don't want you to make your scale here, for instance, the X scale 100, and say that the y-intercept is right here. We can't do that, all right? It always has to be, the dot has to be on the corner of a square. That is non-negotiable. I am not going to give you something that you can't graph. So, dots on corners. Scales that you should try to use. One, 2, 5, and multiples of 10. All right. For instance, going by 10s or 20s or 50s or 100s. And we're going to choose our X and Y scale separately. We're going to look at how far we go up. I'm going up by 50. My intercept is 20. A scale that makes sense is going by 10s on the y-axis. Because my intercept is 20, which is here. And I go up, let's do this in a different color. And I go up by 50, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And I go over 3. So my scale that makes sense on this axis is a 1. So up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, over 1, 2, 3. My dot goes here, and now I can graph my line. My line goes like that. All right, let's look at a second example. All right, next example, y equals 29ths x plus 15. Well, again, I look at the 20, I look at the 15, and a logical scale to use is 5. I look at 9, I could go by 3s or I could go by 1. My graph isn't big enough to go by 3 or 1s, so my only choice here is to go by 3s. Now I realize this violates the rule or the idea. This is not hard and fast, this rule. These are ideal. It's not always going to be ideal. All right, notice 3 isn't here, but I'm going to go by 3 because I don't have any choice. All right, my intercept is 15, which is right here. Now I go up 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I go over 9. 3, 6, 9. All right? So when I went up this far, that's going up 20. And this is going over 9. We're not counting squares. We're paying attention to what these numbers are. So I started at 15, went up 20 over 9, and now I can graph my line, and our line looks like this. All right, let's do one more and then we'll be done. All right, y equals 200x minus 50. Well, clearly 250, a scale, when we look at this number and this number, a scale that makes sense is going by 50s. We start at negative 50, which is right here. But what about the x scale on our x-axis? Well, there's no number in the denominator, so clearly it's 1. So we're going to have to go by ones. You must put a 1 here. You know, even if you're not quote-unquote changing the scale, you need the 1 here. We go up by 200. Each square is 50. So we go up 50, 100, 150, 200, and we go over 1. All right? And then we can draw our line. So, let's see. Raise this up just a skosh. 1. And my graph looks like that. All right? Not too bad. You just have to think a little bit about choosing your scales. All right. Remember, this is the last unit. Get ready for your test and have a great weekend.